Welcome back to another episode of the Real Health Podcast. Okay, Grant, I'm going to call you out because you're just sitting there. One, that reel was hilarious. Two, it really made me think, did I breathe that many times? So what'd you do?
All right, I'm just going to talk. Maybe I'll be coming through some bad camera audio. What did I do? I just took an episode.
Okay.
And I mean, you were breathing normally, but I don't know, it was some sort of trend where I saw like some realtor like be edited by his Gen Z thing.
Yeah.
And obviously y'all didn't tell me to make that real.
Yeah.
But I had the idea to do that for our podcast.
Yeah.
And so now
That was hilarious.
I just took an episode that we did and I just like went through and cut out a bunch of breaths that I thought were funny, and I you can't really tell, but I slowly zoom in on you each one, so you kind of slowly zoom in on you the whole time.
Yeah.
And then I thought like adding a little Brussels sprouts in there was funny, and then the Real Health Podcast at the end because it's the Real Health Podcast. But
So good, man. Gosh, I was like, I really don't hope. If I'm a mouth breather like that, it's driving me crazy. So I thought it was super clever. So yeah, now I'm going to be conscious throughout this whole podcast about if I pause and take a breath.
Well, it's normal to breathe. I mean, like you can be like,
but
welcome back to the Real Health Podcast. I'm Dr. B.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was good. Well done, sir. Well done. Let's dive back in and let's talk through. So we're heading into August, and whenever a parent thinks about August, they think back to school. It's funny because we just got a message that said random thought. So this was 15 minutes ago. Random thought, and I don't know if you ever need podcast ideas, but I would love a one-stop refresher episode on things we can all be doing as a new school year, clean slate begins to help us all be at the best health-wise. Tips for kids and busy parents alike, which is great. This is exactly what we're going to talk about. So this month, we're going to focus in on raising healthy children at home and prepping their bodies for really the fall-winter season and the moment where all the kids collide and share germs. And what we see as the biggest issues like respiratory viruses and stomach viruses in kids. So we're going to talk about how to start preparing your children's immune system for what's to come. So now is the time. It's not when they're sick. It's not in October, November. So I'm going to give you a few ideas from a supplement standpoint that are so important to start your kids on right now, and something to have at home. You have to order this and get it now so that you're prepped for the winter and fall season, okay? So let's dive in. Let's talk through that. We are going to have a discussion this month on raising healthy children, but also it applies directly to adults too. So this isn't like myopic and where it just applies to kids. We will talk about these strategies and how they help adults as well when we're talking about immune system health and even nervous system health. The surprise guest at the end of this series will be my wife. So I'm going to have my wife come on, and she's going to do an episode with us on how she invests in our children from a food standpoint, from a nourishing standpoint, and how she raises healthy children in the home. So, I should have done it 20 times already. My podcast would probably be more viral than it is now in the sense of getting her on. You'll be blessed by her. Everyone wants to hear from Becky, and everyone wants her chocolate chip cookie recipe. So maybe we'll get her to share that. Okay, let's dive in. So how do we create healthy children, knowing that we're about to put them in a cesspool of germs and viruses? So one of the most important things to think about with your children is a healthy daily regimen. We have to create this rhythm of supporting their bodies. And when we look at food as being the most important, okay, we really need to start considering how much sugar kids eat and how much like artificial sweeteners and dyes they consume. So at school, if they eat their lunch at school, the important thing is you may not be able to fully control that. Like you hope you do. You hope you tell your child, say, hey, gluten-free, eat clean, prioritize protein, get your vegetables and fruits on the plate. But you don't know if they're actually doing it, right? So what you can control is breakfast and dinner. And what I find is that we are not setting our children up for success by a quality breakfast. So what I want to talk about today is setting up their breakfast for success, and you have to prioritize protein in the morning. Protein is essential at creating satiation, so it's going to curb their cravings for sugar at lunchtime or sweets or candies or whatever they look at. It's going to curb those appetite cravings and desires. So prioritize protein. Protein also breaks down in our body as amino acids, and amino acids are essential building blocks to neurotransmitters of the brain. So in order for dopamine, acetylcholine, and serotonin, and GABA, and all of these neurotransmitters, amino acids have to be broken down and utilized for your brain energy, not just muscle energy, not just energy in terms of ATP production, but making brain energy, making the brain feel energized and focused and alert. Prioritizing protein is so essential at balancing blood sugar and creating a healthy brain, okay? So we need to prioritize protein, and we need to prioritize healthy fat in the morning. Again, healthy fats are very satiating. So what's a good breakfast look like? Usually, eggs are a great breakfast. Okay, you can get fat and protein from eggs. How many? We really want to try to get, in let's just say grade school children, first grade through like sixth grade. We want to get anywhere between minimum like 15 grams of protein up to 25, 30 grams of protein per setting, as depending upon their weight. That's how much protein they need to be consuming before school. So it may be 2 to 3 to 4 eggs that they need to be consumed, not one egg. 2, 3, 4 eggs is very important. With those eggs, we want to cook that in butter to get some more healthy fats. We want to add some type of additional fat to it. So if they like avocado, that's great. That's a great addition. If they like cheese, like a good quality grass-fed cow cheese, that's okay too. Goat cheese is fantastic. Not a lot of kids like it. That's okay. But try to add in some additional fats and protein. Maybe it's a handful of nuts or walnuts or something like that. That would be great. Okay, what else can we add? So we can do like a grass-fed yogurt or kefir bowl. Kefir is just a fermented like yogurt. So we could do a grass-fed fermented kefir or dairy with some blueberries or strawberries mixed into that. So that's a great source of protein and fat. We don't want to do just pure protein, low fat or no fat yogurt. We need those fats. Those fats are essential for brain, neuron, like literally the nerve cell structure. So do not go low, no fat. Go full fat dairy, grass-fed yogurt or kefir. That's what you want to look for in the store for your children, because that dense fat protein complex is a beautiful satiating meal. But again, those fats are great for cell membrane health, like the actual structure of your cells, okay? Remember, cholesterol from eggs and dairy and fats are a precursor to every hormone in the body. So in order for your child to make hormones, and in order for your child to even make and synthesize vitamin D, they need cholesterol. Side note, lowering cholesterol in adults is a major red flag in most cases. To just be under 200, 180, 160, 130. Cholesterol is anti-cancer. It's anti-cancer. Cholesterol is essential at a healthy brain. Prevention of early onset Alzheimer's, dementia. Cholesterol is vital to brain health. Cholesterol is also vital to immune system health. So again, we need cholesterol, we need fat in our diet in the morning for these kids. So some nuts, some seeds, some blueberries, blackberries, strawberries. Berries are fantastic. We got some full-fat dairy. Fermented is preferable. Yogurt is fine. We got eggs. We can do some smoked salmon in the morning. If you wanted to add a little bit of like a starchy grain, like a sprouted whole grain toast, it's fantastic. Sure, go for it if you know your kids can digest grains properly. So those are like some starting points for the morning routine. But you really want to help their bodies get started off right with a healthy protein, fat-centric meal and some carbohydrates built into that with some berries. So start them off well and finish their day well. A strong dinner, prioritizing proteins and fats with some carbohydrates is fantastic. And then, when they're at school, good luck, right? You try to lead them well and give them assignments on what they should be consuming while they're there. Maybe you pack a lunch for them, great. But at least you've hit 2 strong meals a day. Nutritionally, the focus is always low to no sugar, okay? So that's like added sugars. High protein and quality fats is going to raise healthy children. Okay, so outside of nutrition, so that's what we want to add to their body. What's one thing we want to take away to create a healthy child's brain? Okay, so now we're not talking about immune system health. We're talking about brain health. We want to remove the constant stimulation of devices. Okay, your child's about to be at school for 6-7 hours. They're going to sit in a classroom and be exposed to devices and artificial lights. When they get home, they need to run barefoot in the yard. They need to go and play sports. They need to move their body. They have literally sat in a chair for way too long. They need to move now. So one thing that we want to remove and reduce is any type of electronic device. So they're not going to come home and veg out on an iPad where their brain is just starving for, more stimulation, okay? They're looking for movement. Move those kids, get them outside, get them riding the bike, go throw the ball with them, whatever you want to do, get them outside, get them moving after school. All right, let's get into supplements. What supplements should my kid be taking right now? Right now, today, August 1st, okay? For you're listening to this August 2nd, but what should our kids be consuming? First off, they should be consuming a probiotic every day. My favorite is a company called Claire Labs, and they have a children's chewable probiotic, and they should be consuming at least one children's chewable tablet per day. This provides their gut with microbiology, right? So these bacterial loads, that's very good for their digestive system. And we all know that 80% of the immune system is in the gut. The gut dictates immune system health. It also helps fight off viruses. So if there's a stomach virus going around and they've been knocking down these probiotics every day, their resiliency is so much higher than the kids that aren't doing it and that are trashing their gut with a bunch of terrible grains, toxic foods, and high sugar. So, probiotics. Claire Labs Kids Probiotic. The second thing I recommend, so that's for gut health, brain health, omega-3 fatty acids, fish oil. There is tons of data out there to support why fish oil is so good for the brain. Particularly, there's a compound in it called DHA, and that type of omega-3 fatty acid allows the nerve cells in the brain to work properly. DHA is very calming to the nervous system as well because it reduces inflammation of the brain. So omega-3 fatty acids, my favorite is from a company called Designs for Health, and it's called Omega Veil High Potency in a smoothie form. So it's a liquid form, it's emulsified, and it tastes great. So we just squirt a little bit on a tablespoon and give it to our kids every day. It gives them 2,000 milligrams of fish oil every day. This is a beautiful dose of omega-3s to help the child's brain. And there's even studies that show, if your child has any learning or learning issues or like attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, have been labeled in any type of autistic spectrum disorder, fish oil is a go-to for me for those patients. So Designs for Health is a great product called Omega Veil Hypo, and we give our kids 2,000 milligrams a day of this complex fish oil. Okay, so that's for brain health. Probiotic was for gut health. And the last one, this last one is a daily tonic that the kids can consume that helps strengthen immune system health without overstimulating. And that is very important to keep in mind, that we want to support immune health without overstimulating the immune system. So there's a formulation called Immunoberry from Designs for Health, and this product has elderberry in it. It has what we call beta-1,3 glucans in it. These are extracts from mushrooms that are great at helping like tonify and build a strong, resilient immune system. It also has some additional Chinese herbs that help, again, create a healthy, strong immune system without overstimulating. So it can be used on a day-to-day basis. Immunoberry is our go-to because it tastes great. It's in a liquid form, and your kids can take it every single day, whether they're 7 years old or 17 years old, or even for me as an adult, I take it every day. Immunoberry can be a daily wellness tonic for the immune system. And why do we do this now? Because we want to set up our children for success, their immune system, their gut health, and their brain for success in this next season. So these are the three things that we consume every day: a probiotic, fish oil, and Immunoberry liquid. We're getting into that season. We start this August 1st. So something that we have in office, so if you live in Knoxville, come into the office, we do this wellness bundle every single year where it's like $150 for those three supplements if you price them out individually. And we do this every August. It's a wellness bundle. It's $100. So you get $50 off for all three. Just make sure you see a team member at one of the Real Health Co. locations, Armor Health or the Health Factory. So we've got food as being important. We've got removal and restriction of devices and return to play as soon as they get out of school. And then we've got these three core supplements that we use. What's the last thing? I'm going to leave you with one more thing to help create a strong, resilient child. And it is sleep. Get your kid to bed early. 8 o'clock, and let's just say if you put them in bed by 8, okay, and they wake up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., you've got about 10 to 11 hours of sleep. This is what your child needs. Okay, do not let your kids stay up till 10 o'clock. Do not let your kids get out of a healthy sleep rhythm. Put them to bed early. Put them to bed early. I know the sun's still shining a little bit at 8 o'clock, but set up a strict bedtime routine for your children. Okay, start shutting down their brains. Let them get in a good, healthy rhythm of deep, restorative sleep. It is the most important component to their wellness routine in helping clean out their brain, okay, and also build healthy immune system health. So, sleep routine. We need to be striving for 10 hours of sleep with our kids. As teenagers, we probably need to be at either 8 to 9 hours, but don't let your teenager be staying up till midnight, 11 o'clock. Get these kids to bed early. You set the standard in your home. Lead your children well by leading yourself well. Get to bed early and get your kids to bed early. Okay? Create a healthy rhythm in your family. This is so important to raising healthy children and creating a healthy environment in their bodies. So, as we continue the series this month, we're going to explore different topics of how we can create healthy rhythms for our children so we set them up for success in this next school year. I'm not sure how many times I took big, deep breaths, but I was really intentional today. So hopefully it wasn't distracting. Hey, thanks again, as always, for listening to the Real Health Podcast. We're here to serve you, care for you, and provide you with practical tips, not complex, super sciencey, but practical tips in 15 to 20 minutes in raising healthy children and raising a healthy you. Thanks for listening again to the Real Health Podcast.